Cool. Today we're going to read Dad, Jackie, and Me by Myron Olberg. My ear was glued to the radio like every other ear in Brooklyn. It was opening day 1947, and every kid in Brooklyn knew this was our year. The Dodgers were going to go all the way. We had Jackie Robinson, the first Negro player in the Major League Baseball. Now, why doesn't he just watch the game on TV? What do you think that means, goes all the way? Probably because they didn't have TV, and all the way meant they were going to win the World Series. As I listened to the game, the minutes melted into hours, the innings folded into one another. I could see it all in my mind's eye, pitch after pitch, swing after swing. I dreamed of the day that I could see it for myself. Our neighborhood was only a short subway ride from Ebbets Field, home of the Dodgers and their new first baseman. I loved baseball. I loved the Brooklyn Dodgers. I hated the New York Giants, and they hated Jackie Robinson. One day, my father came home early from work. He walked into my bedroom and announced, "We're going to Ebbets Field." He didn't say it loud. My father was deaf, so he signed the words with his hands. I couldn't believe it. Dad had never seemed to care so much about baseball. "I want to meet Jackie Robinson," Dad signed. I was finally going to see a real game. Today, the Dodgers were going to play the Giants, and we are going to cream them. I got my glove and ball, Dodgers cap and scoreboard. I stuck my lucky pencil behind my ear. As we went down the steps, I tossed the ball to Dad. But he'd never played baseball like me. He dropped it. So something's different about his dad. His dad doesn't hear, so he signs things. He uses sign language. I couldn't wait to get to the ballpark, but the whole ride I kept thinking, there's no way Dad can meet Jackie Robinson. Besides, Jackie doesn't know sign language. How would they talk to each other? The line to get into Ebbets Field snaked around Sullivan Place and up to Bedford Avenue. My dad let me hold my ticket. I clutched it for dear life. Finally, we were through the turnstile. My dad held my hand as we moved with the rest of the crowd through the gloomy underbelly of the stadium up the dark ramp. Then we tumbled into the bright sunlight. This is so exciting. I shut my eyes against the glare. When I opened them again, my breath caught in my throat. I had never seen anything so perfect as the inside of Ebbets Field. There, laid out at my feet, was the emerald green field, each blade of grass reflecting the light from the afternoon sun. The angles of the field were sharply marked into two lines of white chalk. The dirt base paths formed a perfect diamond carpeted with a big fat canvas bags at each base and a black rubber plate at home. I knew that if I lived to be 100, I would never again see a sight so beautiful. "Hey, peanuts! Hey, hot dogs! Get 'em while they're hot!" Dad and I sat on the right field line, right behind first base, Jackie's position. The Dodgers symphony was marching up and down the aisles, playing "The Worms Crawl In, the Worms Crawl Out." The music was ear-splitting. Dad couldn't hear it, but he laughed along with everyone else at the sight of the Raggedy Band's tattered clothes, cowbells, and whistles. When the game started, Jackie ran out on the field. Dad yelled real loud, "Jackie! Jackie! Jackie!" Only it didn't come out that way. It sounded like, "Hockey! Hockey! Hockey!" Since my dad couldn't hear, he had no way of knowing what the words would sound like. Everyone looked at my dad. I looked at my shoes. I'm thinking he's a little embarrassed. Remember, he talked about the way Helen Keller had to learn her speech. His words are going to sound a little bit different, okay? As Jackie stood at first base, the Giants began hooting and hollering. They called Jackie names, horrible names. "What are they saying?" Dad asked. "Bad things," I said. "Tell me." Some of those words I had to fingerspell. I knew no sign for them. Dad listened with a sad little smile on his face. In the 9th inning, Jackie bunted and beat the throw to first. Then he stole second. On the next Dodgers hit, he moved to third. The score was tied, 4-all. The Giants pitcher took a long windup and Jackie dashed for home. We all jumped to our feet, yelling, "Jackie, Jackie, Jackie! Huggy, Huggy, Huggy!" Dad screamed. This time no one seemed to notice. The heck with the Giants. They were nothing. We had Jackie Robinson. And that's where we're going to stop for today. Thanks for listening.